Christie's holding an auction for items from the Rocket Man himself, Sir Elton John. Features art, photos, stage outfits, and even a piano from his former Atlanta estate. I'm going to get straight over to Robert Frank, who's got a special guest with him this morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Great to see you. We are here with Christie's CEO, Guillaume Cerutti. Great to see you, Guillaume.
Good morning,
Guillaume,
Robert.
thanks for joining us. So this sale has just gotten so much publicity. This whole Christie's headquarters has been transformed to look like and feel like Sir Elton's previous residence in Atlanta. What's been the interest so far in demand?
Very strong, very strong. You know, that's the type of sale, especially at the beginning of the year, when people want to start on an optimistic and joyful note, that really attracts so much attention. So we have had many visitors coming to our headquarters here at Christie's in Rockefeller Center. We have already a lot of registrations for the sale, online, on the phone. We expect to have a lot of people in the room tonight for the first sale, so it's very exciting.
And it's interesting when you look at some of the estimates. I mean, there are some items here that are estimated at $100, $200, the sunglasses, some smaller suitcases and things like that. But the estimates seem very low to me. The car, his Bentley, which is a gorgeous Bentley, let alone owned by Elton John, is estimated around $30,000. Do you have to put a low estimate, and then that does not include the potential Elton John premium? So these items could sell for multiples of the estimate.
That's the magic of this type of sale, you know, with very different categories of object, but all estimated at their real value if they were for sale in a normal sale. And then the name, the provenance, the history, the setup, of course, the name of Elton John and the emotion that he has, you know, put in this sale, selling the content of his estate in Atlanta will do the rest. So yes, we expect that the prices will be multiple of the estimate, but the estimates are fair if the object were in a regular sale.
And what about the overall art market? We saw a pretty big correction last year. The auction houses were down somewhere around 25 to 27%. Your sales were down about that as well. What does this year feel like going into what's, at least from the stock market point of view, starting out better than 2023?
I'm you know, relatively optimistic for this year because, as you said, the correction took place last year, and the market has proven to be resilient over the last 10 years. It's a market that has changed much over the last decade, much more global, especially in categories like luxury. The online bidding has transformed also our industry. We have much more bidders than we had 10 years ago. So I think that once the market has corrected itself, it was the case last year, I think now it's time to start on a good base. And what we see at the beginning of the year with sales in New York 2 weeks ago, what we have already for sale in London in 2 weeks' time, makes me feel optimistic for this season.
And you mentioned online bidding, which has totally changed the auction business since the pandemic. What percentage of your winning bids now for last year were online, and what do you think that's going to be in the future?
It's 80%.
80%
of the winning bids come from online bidding. It's fair to say that we have a lot of online sales. By definition, online bidding is the only way to bid in these online sales. But even in live auction, almost 50% of the winning bids come from online. So there are more people bidding online than people bidding in the room or on the phone.
And has that also brought in a younger generation of collectors that maybe just didn't know how to navigate Christie's when it was these live, intimidating auctions before?
Absolutely, absolutely. The online bidding has, you know, attracted new customers who are tech savvy. They like to bid online. They like, you know, the fact that it's so easy. Sometimes, and you're right, they are intimidated by, you know, the theatrical aspect of the live auction. We try to change things. Look at what we've done with the setup here to attract as many visitors as possible. But it's true that the online bidding is the easiest way to bid at auction.
And broadly, does the stock market have much of an impact? I mean, is it correlated to the art market and at least the mood of those very high-end customers? And we've had a pretty good stock market at the start of this year and the end of last year. Does that help?
There is an impact. I mean, we are not immune to the overall context, macro environment, political or economic environment. But as I said, we are resilient because people, especially at the top end, they know that if they don't take the opportunity to buy an object they want, a very rare object, a masterpiece, there will not be another opportunity. So whatever the stock market does, very often we see that our sale, especially for high-value items, are strong.
Great. Guillaume, thank you so much for
joining us. Thank you, Robert.
Joe, I didn't see any Haim Satines here that Elton John collected, but there's some great photographs. I mean, the amount of art in this space is just, it's amazing that one person did this, plus while he was touring and being Sir Elton John. So it's really amazing to see how much stuff is here.
It is, and I go way back to, not everyone remembers your song, and I remember when that came out, and I remember, he is just raw talent, really incredible. What a life he's led. I've seen his place from you can see it from St. Mark's Square, Robert, over in Venice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and his place in Atlanta was 14,000 square feet, and it was absolutely filled, and it's hard to believe, but when you come here at Christie's, the amount of stuff that he collected, I mean, he was obviously an incredibly talented musician, but also a talented collector, and it's just staggering, 14,000 square feet worth of stuff. He called it his ultimate Elton John man cave. It's fun to see all this stuff.